Hello everybody and welcome to Mother Rabbit's Kitchen. It is a Monday. It is time to make a quick-ish weeknight meal. And you know me, when I cook once and we eat twice at least. Sometimes twice and then I stick it in the freezer and then we eat it again another night. Excuse me, Missy. We don't do that. All right, you want to say hi? Pardon me. Somebody was being a little bit naughty and chewing on my kitchen rug. Are you supposed to chew on the kitchen rug? We're still learning. Got interrupted for a moment. Good thing you're cute. This is Coco. Say hi, Coco. Hi, Coco. I love you, but don't chew on my rug. My idea for tonight is a simple penne alla vodka, and you really only need a few ingredients to make that, but I am gonna health it up a little bit and just make it a little more nutrient dense. Oh, I forgot. I want to show you something. I'm also so excited about my newest endeavor, my sprouts. These are broccoli sprouts. So I am trying to incorporate them into every meal possible. Like the past 2 days, we had them on our turkey wraps. This morning, I had it on my avocado toast. I'm just going to put a few on the penne alla vodka. And I think it'll be pretty, and I think it'll add a little element of texture and some flavor to it. I love it. These taste to me almost like an arugula flavor, like a little bit peppery, really nice, crispy kind of texture. Not crispy like a chip, but crispy like, I don't know, just try it and you'll see. More nutrition that we can add to it is, I have this big tub of spinach that I've been using in so many things. Last week, I actually bought it to make an egg bake with my Swiss chard and spinach just to get my magnesium and all these vitamins. If you haven't seen that video yet, go watch it. It's really, really delicious and so nutrient dense. I also use the spinach in the French onion soup and pressed sandwiches. Also, there's a video for that I didn't post yet, but by the time this video comes out, it definitely will be. So go check that out. And then I also used it on the turkey wraps in place of, lettuce greens. So I've been using this for a week and I still have some left. So I'm gonna saute it with my garlic and onions for this vodka sauce. So that'll get used up tonight and then we won't waste a dime on spinach. And then I was at the market picking up some other things. I was picking up some strawberries and some yogurt for the kids. And I saw these spaghetti squash and the sign said homegrown spaghetti squash, and anything that says homegrown, I pretty much get it and figure out what to do with it. So I got this spaghetti squash. I almost was gonna be like, hey, then we can do spaghetti squash a la vodka with grilled chicken and not even do the pasta. But then I thought of my children and they're gonna be like, we missed the pasta. I was also considering doing homemade pasta and showing you how to do that. But if I'm gonna do spaghetti squash also, I'm just not gonna take that on a Monday evening. So I do have this in my pantry. It is a protein pasta. So it isn't whole wheat pasta, which I don't love, but it is organic and it has the added pea flour to it. So it has a lot more protein to it. And I'm balancing it out with the spaghetti squash. So it's not gonna be all pasta. It's gonna be like half pasta, half spaghetti squash. And then we've got some grilled chicken, and you will not believe what I did. So last night I was like, let me take some chicken out of the freezer and thaw it in the fridge. So I took out 4 chicken breasts, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then instead of putting it into the fridge, I put it right back in the freezer. So I just went to get it, and they're still frozen. So while I have my spaghetti squash in the oven, I am gonna just put these in some warm water and thaw them so I can actually cook them this evening. Okay, so for penne alla vodka, you have to have some vodka, and I actually use this in 2 ways. I use it for cooking and I use it for cleaning. So hey, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm also gonna just use some regular old tomato sauce to use for the vodka sauce, and then of course you have to have some cream and some butter for that, and then some flavor there. I've got my garlic and my onion. I've made this many times with just garlic and no onion, so if you don't have an onion, you don't need one, but definitely you want garlic for this. Let's get the spaghetti squash in the oven. All I'm gonna do is slice it in half, dig out the seeds, turn it upside down, or oil it a little bit, turn it upside down on a sheet tray, and put it in the oven I have the oven set to 425, so probably for about a half hour, 40 minutes, something like that, and then we'll just scoop out the spaghetti squash and add it to the dish later. I had a heck of a time cutting through that spaghetti squash.
it definitely takes a steady hand and a sharp knife. So I actually edited out a lot of my struggles here because it made me look very unprofessional. It's been a long time since I've cut a really large, awkward squash. So I finally did it, and there it is. It's beautiful on the inside, and we're just gonna scrape out those seeds, kind of like a cantaloupe, but it's much firmer than a cantaloupe, so you don't have to worry about scraping the flesh out. Looks very good, nice and clean. Just doing the other one there. And then I take my little olive oil sprayer there, and I'm gonna spray them just pretty evenly with some olive oil. I'm going to season them well with salt, and then I'm going to turn them over so that they are face down or flesh side down. And I have the oven really hot. I think I had it at 400 or something like that. And I put them in for about 40 minutes until they were golden brown. And I just tested to see if the flesh was nice and soft, because you want to be able to scoop out the flesh really easily, and that's where you get the spaghetti-like texture. Now I have a Dutch oven heating up on my stove, and I put almost a stick of butter. I must have used a little bit of that butter for something, and I just put the rest of it in there. And I know that seems like a lot of butter, but this is going to make a huge amount of sauce, so it's really not that much, and the butter makes it taste so good. So I'm chopping up an onion to add, and like I mentioned before, I've made this vodka sauce with just really simple ingredients before when I didn't have onions, so I left them out. There's my little garlic that's starting to sprout, so I gotta use it up. And I'm pressing the whole head of garlic down just to loosen all of those cloves, and then one by one, crushing them with my knife, the flat part of my knife, and the palm of my hand, keeping my fingers out of the way, so that I can smash the garlic and loosen the skin so it's nice and easy to peel once I have everything peeled. By the way, I used the entire head of garlic for this. I really don't feel like there's such a thing as having too much garlic in any kind of Italian food, tomato sauce, vodka sauce, whatever you have. So I did chop up the whole head, and I chopped it pretty finely, and then got it in the butter. And I'm just simmering this on low because I just definitely don't want my garlic to burn. And while that's cooking down, I'm getting a pot filled with water, and I grab some Italian seasoning, and I just add a liberal amount to this. And you can see it's almost like making like a paste. It's so good. I've got my vodka, and I'm just putting about a half cup to a cup of vodka in there. I never really measure it. And I do bring up the temperature because I want to bring it up a little hotter, and my sweet little helper there is helping me stir. But I want to get it nice and hot so that the alcohol cooks out. So that takes several minutes, and it cooks down, and you can see kind of the liquid reducing and disappearing. I've got, I think, 3 large cans of tomato sauce. I think 2 of them were just tomato sauce, and one of them was like crushed tomatoes. And I'm going to season it. Oh, he's so sweet. Season it well with salt, and I squeeze in a little bit of honey. You can use sugar, honey. You can even use maple syrup if you are Buddy the Elf. And I'm moving the pots and pans around now because for some reason this just took up a lot of space. I had a lot of things going on at once, so I was trying to figure out where each pot should go because they were all kind of like wide bottom situations, and I don't have a whole lot of wide bottom options on my stovetop. So I moved things around a couple of times. I got my cast iron pan screaming hot so I could get a nice sear on those chicken breasts.
Oh yeah, that looks good. This is called spaghetti squash. I'll show you. You just scoop it out of the shell. Kind of like how we scoop out the avocado, right? And it looks like little spaghettis. Look. See?
Like it is one of the spaghettis.
It is like little spaghettis. Isn't that cool?
My son right there was a little skeptical, like, what is this thing that looks like spaghetti? But he was definitely intrigued, and you'll see in a little bit that he absolutely loved it. I'm flipping my chicken. Oh, there he goes. I mixed it with a little bit of the sauce, and I sprinkled a little mozzarella cheese in there, because if I put mozzarella cheese on anything, he will probably eat it.
You
want more? All right, well, we'll wait for dinner.
Doesn't it just feel like such a win when your kid tries a new vegetable and actually likes it? It is definitely a really good moment. Now I am putting 2 containers of that protein pasta in hot boiling water that is sprinkled really well with salt, and I've got my big kitchen helper helping me stir that while I'm doing the other things and probably moving more pots and pans around. I don't think I even know what I'm doing. I'm lifting the lid there. I'm checking my chicken for doneness. If you just poke it with your finger, you can tell if it's firm or if it's a little bit soft, then it's not done yet. And now I remembered that I need to actually get some tinfoil on there to help kind of keep the heat in, because the chicken was taking a long time to cook because it was very thick and I didn't feel like slicing it in half. And now I'm just letting the chicken rest with some tinfoil on the top to keep it warm while the juices redistribute. And I totally forgot to put the spinach in with the sauce. So I decided to plate the spaghetti squash on the bottom and then layer the spinach on top. And then I'm going to put the hot pasta and hot sauce on top of the spinach, and that's going to wilt it a little bit and kind of just make it all mixed together.
Oh.
Of course, you have to add a good amount of heavy cream to your sauce. That is just a huge part of vodka sauce. And then I did sprinkle in a little bit of sugar because I'm tasting it, and you just have to go with how it tastes. Like, if you know what a vodka sauce should taste like, you just keep tasting it and making it taste even better and better by adding what it needs. And so I scooped some sauce on top of the spinach, then some pasta on top of that, then a little more sauce, and then I sliced up that grilled chicken and put that on. My son is trying to help shave the parmigiano reggiano, and it fell off the plate. It's so cute. So I took over because I like a good amount of parmigiano reggiano on everything, especially Italian dishes. And then of course I grabbed my sprouts and I topped that off. Doesn't that look so beautiful? And the sprouts are so healthy. They're the broccoli sprouts. Well, I hope this gave you some inspiration for your next weeknight meal. I hope you make it. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.